What are you sick of trying to explain to people? I am gardener in Germany. People ask for plants that bloom all over the year, need no water, need no light and don't lose their leaves. That plant doesn't exist. A disagreement is not a personal attack. Just because a statistical model gave something a 70% chance of happening and missed, doesn't mean the entire model is horribly inaccurate. Just because I'm an accountant doesn't mean I know everything about taxes. No, I can't find you some hidden money and magically get you a higher refund. Facebook is not and never was a news site. Looking at you, mom. Antibiotics don't work on viruses. Yes, and if you have a virus and it's only been a few days and you aren't dying, you don't need to go to the doc. There's not much they can do for you. Keep your germs at home and rest. No, eating organic will not cure my autoimmune disease. No, it's not because I take too many pills either. The pills are for it. No, it's not some conspiracy by my doctor to make me buy more medication. No, I don't want your effing essential oils. Tattoos usually follow the general rule of, you get what you pay for. Tried to explain to so many people I know not to get a tattoo based on price, but unfortunately they believe that cheap is best. My most favorite ones are when I alone can escort a person out under their own power, and just follow them from behind. I'm not keen to go to jail or get sued to death because some drunk dude called me a C, and my actions led to him getting hurt for life. I don't know how long it's going to be. Yes, you need ID. No, I can't take your word for it. I know it's cold. I'm standing out here too. No, you can't have your bag of drugs back. No, you can't take a knife into the club. I still don't know how long the wait will be. No, you can't use the stage entrance. Go to the main entrance. I don't set the cover charge. The promoter does. I also know the owner. He pays me every 2 weeks. Heck of a guy. You still have to wait. You're not on the guest list. +1 doesn't mean +5. I'm sure you're a great fighter, but the fact that you've already got a broken nose because you grabbed another guy's girlfriend by the tits and he punched you tells me you may have overestimated your fighting skills. No, I'm not kicking you out for no reason. I'm kicking you out because you told the bartender to go F herself then threw your drink at her. I'll be sure to go F myself right after work. In the meantime, doors over there. Have a nice night. Please do call the police and report me for tossing you out the side door. Also, tell them you swung at me with a beer bottle. No, I don't want to fight you. I want to go home and put on my fluffy cozy hoodie of warmness. Happy birthday. Go wait in line. Yes, you have to check your jacket. Please stop haggling with the cashier. She doesn't set the price. And yes, you're holding up the line. No, I don't have to pull out an alcohol testing machine to determine if you're really drunk. The fact you just puked and then proceeded to pass out at the table is evidence enough. I'm sorry the busboy took your drink. It was only sitting there for 30 minutes. No, we don't have to give you a free replacement drink. I know you didn't do anything wrong. I guess that bottle of rum magically teleported from the liquor room into your pants. We should investigate this scientific anomaly later. In the meantime, you're leaving. Fine. It's going to be 14 hours before you get through the line. Happy now? That my rheumatoid arthritis can't be cured with ibuprofen. I take cancer meds FFS. My dad is one of the people who buys into email chains and websites claiming false things. He gets mad whenever I try to actually research a subject and find peer-reviewed sources about that research. He says that it's the same thing as the web pages he used because both are just things on the internet. He can't differentiate between scam websites and real scientific evidence. It's endlessly frustrating. Astronomer here. I don't do horoscopes. Please stop asking. Just because you've been in the industry longer than me doesn't mean I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Vaccines don't kill people. They don't contain mercury because thimerosal was taken out in the early 2000s. You will ingest more mercury in your life by eating albacore tuna than you will get from vaccines. There is no causal link to autism. The doctor who made these claims lost his medical license and had his journal retracted. Vaccines protect against epidemics. Mom blogs and fact. Vaccines aren't just for you. They are there to protect the people who have weakened immune systems and babies too young to receive them. Vaccinate your kids, please and thank you. We do not use only 10% of our brains. Well, except maybe for the people who believe this. Just because you say something and you believe it doesn't mean it is true. You saying louder doesn't make it true either. Work in a veterinary clinic in Houston, TX. My dog doesn't need heartworm prevention. We live where it's hot most of the year in a city known for its bayous. Now, some clients won't know that heartworm disease is spread by mosquitoes, but as soon as I explain it to them they still come out with, "But he's an inside dog." Still doesn't matter. He can still get it. It just takes one mosquito bite. No, I'm not just trying to take your money. I've actually seen dogs die from this, so just pay for the prevention and the test every year so you won't have to pay thousands in dollars in treatment. I've heard "but he's an inside dog" many times from owners who don't do fleetic preventative treatments and want to refuse vaccines. At some point during the day your dog goes outside to go to the bathroom. Therefore he will be exposed to parasites and the elements. Not to mention that bugs can get inside the house easily. No dog is too much of a special snowflake to not need flea medicine, vaccines, and routine fecal checks. That GMOs are not particularly bad. People will be about everything getting destroyed by genetically manipulated organisms. I'd prefer the term modified over manipulated, saying it will change the genetic diversity in nature and it being against nature in general. However, these GMOs are the ones that bring you food on your plate, beer in the bottle and washing detergent in your laundry machine. They are proven to be superior over conventional organisms for their specific purpose, and have higher yields than non-modified organisms. Unfortunately, I am just a biotechnology student learning day in, day out about the subject, and I'm ignorant to the facts that showed up on their Facebook feed. I do however share the opinion on some major companies in the field exploiting their monopoly position. My grandfather worked in the agrochemical field, and GMOs are one of the only things I've witnessed him get in fights over. When that GMO craze was going on a few years ago, it was like once a week I thought, OMG, he's gonna have a heart attack defending GMOs. His whole life was dedicated to finding and providing better ways to get more yield for farmers, and he wasn't taking the non-GMO push lightly. I'll never forget the look on my cousin's face when she tried to educate him on the dangers of GMO. Gramps went up and down the side of her and tore a strip off. Literally laughed in her face about how stupid she was being. On his 90th birthday, in public, at a fine dining restaurant. That Scruddina's cat is not supposed to sincerely imply that reality is based on our observation of it. The whole thing is meant to be a thought experiment depicting a paradox that ridicules that idea. In creating the Scruddina's cat paradox, Scruddina was illustrating an issue he had with the idea in quantum mechanics called the Copenhagen interpretation. The Copenhagen interpretation states that physical systems do not have definitive properties prior to being observed. Scruddina thought up his cat experiment to show that the idea wasn't logical and didn't work when applied to everyday objects. I often see Scruddina's cat used to prove that reality is egocentric, since everything is in a sort of fluid, indefinable state until we observe and measure it. Except Scruddina's cat was meant to illustrate precisely how ludicrous that idea is, because a cat can't be both alive and dead in a box, as reality exists beyond our field of vision, at least beyond subatomic levels. That I've already thought of: no caffeine, more exercise, and go to bed earlier. It's like they think they are the first person to ever think of this. Thanks, I'm cured. Eater. Whoa. Ty kind stranger. My very first and second goal both in the same week. This makes me optimistic for my RL karma in the weeks ahead. Much needed this week. And sorry to hear that so many others of you suffer from life-altering sleep problems too. And thanks for all the advice I still got anyways, because irony is humorous. There's no quick fix when raising children. I'm having trouble with little Timmy doing X. Did you try having consequences for him doing X? Cue next conversation. Having consequences didn't work. Timmy did X again after I gave him a timeout for doing it the first time. Did he get the same consequences the second time? No, because they didn't work. He did X again. Did you give him any consequences the second time? No, consequences didn't work. He did X again. Well, you have to give consequences every single time your child does X for your child to learn that X is an unacceptable behavior. I don't have time for that. I've got all the chores and shopping to do. Is there anything else I can do to keep Timmy from doing X? If I can manage to run a classroom while giving consequences for unacceptable behavior while alone with 25 kids, I'm sure you can manage with one while doing the dishes. My profession. Me. I'm a medical laboratory scientist. Them. What's that? Me. I perform testing on blood, urine and other body fluids to help doctors diagnose and treat patients. Them. Oh. So a nurse? Me. No. No. I work in the laboratory actually performing the testing that doctors order, like when you get blood work taken for tests. I do the testing. Them. Oh. A phlebotomist. Me. No, I don't actually draw the blood. The blood comes to the laboratory and scientists, like me, perform the testing. Them. Oh, that sounds cool. Does that take, like, a special certificate? Me. It's a Bachelor's of Science in Clinical Laboratory Science and the passing of a national board exam through the American Society of Clinical Pathology. Them. So how much do you make an hour? Me. Tells them. Them. Whoa, nurses make way more, I'd rather do that. Me. Facet them.